Okay, in this video I am going to show you how to create a Diigo account, Diigo.com. And this way you're going to be able to share your comments privately with your student teacher that you make directly on their website. And so it's going to be a lot easier for you to tell them specifically things that they need to revise and edit to make their portfolio the best possible. So just go to a Diigo homepage, Diigo.com. And you will just sign up right here in this little, the little icon right here. And it's pretty easy. You choose a username and password. Remember which email address you sign up for because that matters depending on the email address that you're going to share with your student teacher. So after you do that, which I don't need to show you how to do that because it's just the same as everything else, you are going to go over to your email because they make you activate it, and I'm in my son's email account right here. So activate your Diigo account, so you'll get one of these, and then all you got to do is click on the to activate your account. So then it'll bring you to right here, and this is the central place where you will find all of your highlights and everything that you do. But what I want you to do once you get here is actually go and go to a Google search page. And this is just the easiest way that I have found to do this because I'm not entirely sure why it's not easy to find on the Diigo page, but I want you to do a search by Diigo bookmarklet, which sounds really funny. But you'll see the first one that should come up is the one that's on Diigo.com, but it's this Diigolet. And I want you to click on that. And then it will notice which, here I'm going to delete this from my bookmark bar. Make sure your bookmark bar is visible. You can do that by going up here to these three lines and going down here to bookmark and show bookmark bar. You have to be able to see that in order to do this. So go ahead and click on that. And then it'll show you what to do, whatever browser you're in, and I would suggest you be in Chrome because it's the easiest one to use with any kind of Google apps or Google products. So click on this and just drag it up to your bar, and you'll see this little black line up here, and that is where you're placing it. So just drag it there, and you'll see this Diigolet bar now up here. So now you will go to My Groups, and since this is Parker's page, he doesn't have any right now, and so I'm going to go back over to my own account and sign in. Let me click off of some of these other things. So I'm going to sign out of his and sign into mine. Okay, so there's that. And I would suggest that you actually connect it with your Google account, which is really easy to do, but for right now, we're going to go to My Groups because you're going to create a group for your student teacher. So I'm on My Groups, and then you're going to go right here to create a group. But first, let me show you that I have a group with me and each one of my students in my teaching social studies courses because I'm making comments on their websites. And so what is really neat is that I can go into this group and I can see all of the comments that I made on her website, and I'll show you where I did that in just a minute. Okay, so you can see all of those. Now let's go back to My Groups, and I am going to create a group. Okay, you'll have a group name, and I would just do it by the student teacher's name, and I'm going to use my daughter, Carly, and Mrs. Fox, and it creates the group URL right there. You don't really need to know that, and just choose education or not categorized. It really doesn't matter. Make it private. This is really important because you're only going to invite that student teacher. You're not going to invite anybody else. You can invite Mr. Spurgeon if you would like to do that, to have him be able to view your comments, but because this is only going to be private with group members view only, nobody that goes to that student teacher's website will be able to see these comments. It will be private to only you and that student teacher. So do not list this group because it's private, and you want by invitation only, which means nobody else really can join the group. Who can invite new members? Only group moderator. That's you. So you want to only be able to tell who can be a part of the group. So now you have to do this little thing that I always mess up. So I'm going to try a different word. 1, 3, M-E-N-T-R-Y. Okay, create my group. Now this is where you're going to invite your student teacher, and you can do it by email right here. So this is really important. You need to get that student teacher's email that they are going to use to sign up for this account. So you need to have that email address already at hand. So I'm going to invite my daughter at gmail.com. Okay, and then I would write something here like, Carly, this is the group we will use to, I will use to comment on your website portfolio, or whatever you want to. Mrs. Fox, okay? And then you're going to invite that person by clicking on invite. Now I have a bookmark with just Carly and myself. So now let me show you how to go over and comment on the bar and why this little bookmark tool is so important. Over here on one of my students' websites, I have, if you see all these little highlights with little numbers, you'll see that I have made little comments on her website, and she can see them. So I said these are 2 great examples of units you could use. She can reply to me in that. So I'm just going to show you why this Diigo bar is so important, because if I'm on a website and I just see all these things, I don't know what they are, but when I click on that Diigo, it shows up this bar right here. So if I wanted to put a comment right here, these are the few of the things, then I'm going to click on either highlight or highlight and sticky note, and I'm going to do that one so I can actually highlight it. And right here at the very first of the highlight, it gives me this big long line of what I can do with it. I can change the color of the highlight, I can add a sticky note, which is what I want to do, I can delete the highlight, a couple of different things. So I'm going to add sticky note. Now I can type in here, this is so great. And then here is where I'm going to tell it which list I want to put it on. So all of these are my groups, okay, and you notice they're all my students and me. So this one is on Whitney's website, and so I'm going to do Whitney, and then I just post. And there you will see that it shows up as a 1, and now she knows that she has a sticky note attached to that. Now if I want to delete this, which I do, I'm just going to go right here to delete, and it's gone, and I delete, and it's gone. Now if I want to delete the highlight, I can just delete it like that, okay? So this is the way that you can leave comments directly on there, and then the student teacher, whenever they have this Diigo applied to their bar and this is showing, they will be able to go in and see all of these highlights. Now back over here on my groups, if I go back into Whitney's group, then I can see what I highlighted. The binder becomes more interactive and fun. This is what I highlighted. This is my sticky note, what I wrote to her. This again, what I highlighted, what I wrote. So you can see in here, if I made a comment, if she commented back to me, it would be here as well. Or I can add another sticky note to this comment just in my library here. So this is back over on my Diigo account. So this is the way that you can just leave comments directly on your student teacher's website, and you can have a conversation back and forth with them. But the really important things are this little bookmark bar and this bar that shows up right here, and the fact that you have a shared group between you and that person. So if you have any questions, just let me know. My email address is jfox@sbuniv.edu. Thanks.